Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to be going over a Dragon Maid pure variant. And I know a lot of people really liked the Dragon Maids when I first covered them. A lot of people were splashing them in, but this is going to be a pure variant where we're just using the Dragon Maids for, of course, that new updated ban list. Not that too much has changed, but we do have a matchup against a deck that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with, which we'll show off in a moment here. But this is up against a banished Grand Maju Fairy Tale deck. Nonetheless, we're going to be able to really be active during our opponent's turn, because usually you would think Dragon Maids don't have that much interaction as far as like negating our opponent's plays, but we still have a lot of plays to go ahead and go off during our opponent's turn. So we happen to have the welcome over there, and on top of that, the cleanup is going to be able to go ahead and use that card's effect by banishing it. And then we have the options for the swap arena. A lot of the Dragon Maids, they swap into it during our opponent's turn, or just as a quick effect during the battle phase. It's quite nice. Just going to go ahead and swap right into the parlor. And then, like, we just disrupted our opponent's entire board during their turn. You guys can see that the deck still is relatively reactive. Like, you can still definitely make some plays. And there are some plays that I haven't even seen, which is just make one Link Monster pass, which you guys will see here very soon. But the deck is quite strong, and it makes one of the very powerful cards that will definitely be able to game a lot of people, because it simply existing in the game is difficult for a lot of decks to really deal with, simply due to not anyone being able to get over it. So this is 5-headed Link Dragon, or 5-God Link Dragon as it was originally called, but it has 5,000 attack, and when it comes out, you get to destroy all cards your opponent controls if the card is Link summoned using Dark, Earth, Water, Fire, and Wind attributes. So that's actually quite easy to do, and I'm surprised no one made a 5-God Link Dragon deck with Dragon Maids until, I guess, now. This is the first time I've ever seen it. But we got a lot of different matchups over here. That one was, of course, a Grand Maju. We got Altergeist, and this one is up against a variant of Burning Abyss over here. We're going to go ahead and see a Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres and then pass it. I was just like, that's it? But, of course, Dragon Maids are able to utilize their graveyards. They have a lot of searchability. Sorry, by the way, about the fireworks. There's nothing I can do about it. But happy 4th of July, if any of you guys are celebrating it. But, anyways, we got the Nurse coming out, and then Parlor is also going to be out over here. And then we've got the effect of the cleanup. Going to go ahead and banish that card and special summon a Dragon Maid monster from the graveyard in defense position. It returns to the hand during the end phase, but that's not really necessarily a bad thing. Also, the welcome has that effect where all monsters gain 100. But if you control 2 or more, you can target one Dragon Maid card in your graveyard and then add it back to your hand. So once again, that 5-headed Link Dragon is going to be coming out over here. And then it's also unaffected by other card effects, so him using that breakthrough skill, which I haven't seen someone play that in a long time. I think Titan Osider is one of the cards that really made it not as powerful, but at the end of the day, it's similar in some sort of an effect. But this card over here with 5k attack, immune to things, and on top of that, this guy will be making a monster that might be able to get over it at first glance, but we'll have to wait and see how our opponent is going to be dealing with the 5-God Dragon. Again, I know it's 5-headed. If I say 5-headed Link or 5-God Dragon, they're the same thing. It's just that the name got changed. Anyways, Tour Guide going right into the Trail Beating. He's going to go ahead and bounce back the card, so he's going to have an open board to go ahead and make what he wants to make, because obviously this is not going to do anything over here. He's going to go ahead and go right into that effect over there, and it does increase the attack. However, one thing to take note is this card cannot be destroyed by battle by a Dark, Earth, Water, Fire, or Wind monster. So it's pretty much just light or divine, but divine, that's very, very conditional, because even the Egyptian gods can't actually attack over 5-headed Link Dragon, unless of course they've paid so much life points with Ra. But at the end of the day, if this card's already coming out, they probably won't have that much life points to pay. But he's going to go ahead and attempt to go attack once again. He'll be taking some small amounts of damage, but we're going to see Beatrice also going to be coming out. The Twin Twister is going to go ahead and pop the double back row over there. There is that Titan Osider card that I was talking about, and keep in mind that you're going to banish 5 cards from your graveyard face down. He's going to go ahead and activate that effect, and he's going to go ahead and chain that Called by the Grave. And we're going to go ahead and see what he gets. Called by the Grave does stop that. Brawl Sword is going to unfortunately just take that damage cap, and that's going to be game. that was pretty close to it because maybe his idea was to just keep on attacking over him and he would maybe deck out, right? Because during your opponent's end phase, you got to banish the 5 cards from your graveyard face down, and it's not optional, which I was thinking was kind of interesting because maybe you can make use out of it with like a Gren Maju deck, right? That would be kind of cool. I have one more duel and then another Altergeist duel, which is more meta. Galaxy Eyes, I don't know, Galaxies aren't that bad as an archetype. I mean, I know a lot of people meme on them, but they still can pull out a couple negates, and they are quite a resilient deck. Like, they have a lot of ways to kind of come back into the game. Anyways, Photon Thrasher, and then Vanisher is also going to be coming out. Going to go ahead and search out a card. Orbital going to be activating its effect. And then, just with a Heavenly Spheres, pretty much, and passing, he's also got Called. But you're able to basically go off from there because that has that effect where you can dispose of a dragon monster from your hand or deck, and it doesn't negate the effects. So you're able to go ahead and go from Renting to Nurse over here. That lets you go ahead and target level 4 or lower Dragon Maid, which of course you probably used to go ahead and make the spheres in the first place. And then we're going to go ahead and have the Dragon Maid Tink come out over there, and then once again, they clean up. It's going to go ahead and get him another monster, and then we've got the Hospitality up over here. Supposed to summon a Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard, and then it just allows you to go ahead and make this card. And if you can go into the fusion, the 5 God Dragon Link Dragon, press the fusion monster will pretty much make a game most of the time over here. And in this case, this is going to also be game because most of the smaller ones will just go right into the bigger ones because they have that effect to go ahead and it's a quick effect, target a Dragon Maid monster and maybe gain an attack or something like that, or just kind of bring them out, which is kind of how the Dragon Maid archetype works. It almost reminds me of like a Gladiator Beast tag out system. Alright, this one is up against Altergeist, and then I will also give you guys the deck profile in case any of you guys do want to go ahead and try out this deck yourself. I think it's been a while since I covered pure Dragon Maids, but I gotta give a shout out to my boy Francis for hooking me up with this build, as again, I've not seen anyone run a FGD Dragon Maid variant, but he's gonna go ahead and set 500 back row because that's what Altergeist love to do. If I was to name the top 3 decks that I hate playing this format, it would be Altergeist 3 times. Like, this deck is just usually super slow, especially if you're playing on Dueling Book. They'll start arguing, and oh gosh, okay. But nonetheless, it is a very slow archetype. Like, you can't really OTK Altergeist unless they brick super hard. But we're able to go ahead and negate those effects, and then the Dragon Maid Kitchen is going to be out there. And then we've also got the Elfie and Almirages over here. We're also running a newer card over here, which I'll briefly mention, which is the Crossroads Dragon. And then during the main phase, as a quick effect, you get to tribute this card and another plant monster, which we don't have in this case. But you get to go for a Rose Synchro monster or a Plant Synchro monster from your extra deck, which I think is kind of a cool little effect over there. But it's just kind of used because it's a dragon. Nonetheless, we see the changeover activated, and then Cross Sheep plus the House Dragon Maid is going to have that awesome ability. Once you go for a fusion, you're going to be able to summon a level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard. It doesn't have to be a Dragon Maid, but in this case, well, we're only playing Dragon Maids. And then we're going to go ahead and have House have that effect to target one monster opponent controls and destroy it, which is awesome. And then we're going to go ahead and be able to swing for massive amounts of damage over here very soon in the following turn. Now that we've gotten rid of all of those cards, we're going to go ahead and make that 5 God Dragon because that's what we want to make. All other guys probably wouldn't have such a great time against that, considering it's like immune to card effects, and on top of that, it's got just insane amounts of attack once it does come out. So he's got Faker, but this card is going to go ahead and stop it. Again, Dragon Maid doesn't really negate too many things, but they have a lot of like popping and disruption again during your opponent's turn, which just make them a little bit more viable. I think most Yu-Gi-Oh decks need to either have a lot of negation or maybe top deck a card or banish or pop. It just needs a lot of stuff this day and age to become a viable archetype. But he's going to go ahead and set that Solemn, and pass up, and he's going to go ahead and activate that Spoofing, right, Manifestation. And then go right into the Mr. Bounce Back and I Never Go Away. And then Multi-Faker is indeed coming out, but we're going to have that ability over here to go ahead and target monster opponent controls. We're going to pop it. And then we're going to have that Cleanup activated once again. And you could already see what's going to go ahead and go on. We're going to go ahead and attempt to go for all of the elements to go ahead and make that card. So he's going to go ahead and add that card right back. With that awesome ability, you can target a Dragon Maid monster control and add this card to your return that monster to the hand, and then you get to add it back. So he's gonna go ahead and Solemn strike that card, unfortunately, over here. But Dragon Maid's very resilient deck as well, and I saved the best for last, of course. So not only did he have to pay, of course, for those life points, but we still actually have a relatively decent board. And I'm going to go ahead and still be able to amount up to a good amount of damage here. And then the other guy's just like, you know what, it's already game. Like, the fact that we had the 5-link dragon negated and still have 6 cards in the hand, that is absolutely crazy for Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyways, here is the deck profile in case any of you guys did want to go ahead and try out this deck yourself. There is one card that is in the OCG, which is the cleanup, that is quite nice. This is the one where you get to go ahead and banish it and spell summon Dragon Maid, but then it bounces back to the hand. But other than that, you should be ready to go with this deck. Anyways, here it is real quick. I'm going to go ahead and mouse over the cards, but I will also include the downloadable deck profile in case you guys want to go ahead and do that via the Discord. Really cool deck, Francis. I like it. Just again, I haven't really seen anyone play it. And then we also have Chalice, which I think is an interesting mix-up over here. I usually prefer Impermanence, but this card can also be like a budget version of Impermanence. It's almost good. It just doesn't let you activate during your opponent's turn. That's like the main thing, and that's usually what people like to go ahead and use Chalice for. But you can go ahead and opt to run Veiler if you want to as well. But this card is just, you know, during your turn you can activate it, and it'll be a little bit more effective. So I like that. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss out on more cool Yu-Gi-Oh decks like the pure 5 God Dragon Maid variant. And if you guys want to send me other replays, just like my homie Francis over here, feel free to go ahead and do so at azneyesreplays@gmail.com, or you can send it to me in the Discord. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!